What's going on, guys? Chinese guy here. So originally today I was planning to upload a video for the scout helicopters, but then some awesome news got leaked for the next Battlefield game, which is supposedly titled Battlefield Hardline. A while back ago, I'm sure you have heard about those rumors that the next Battlefield game will revolve around a police theme. There'll be robbers and there'll be cops, and you'll be fighting in the streets of some kind of city. Well, I'm here to say those rumors will most likely 99.9% will become true because of all the leaked information we have got right now. So apparently there is some recent Battlelog update which leaked a lot of this information, including some weapons, gadgets, vehicles, maps, and even game modes. So in this video, I want to highlight all the key information we have regarding this game. I don't want to go over every single little weapon because there's images there and there are forums for those. But what I wanted to do is just to highlight the more important things and give you guys a good perspective of the game so far. So this game will most likely be released around October, which is the usual Battlefield time. And there will be a lot of information probably at E3 which will cover this officially, but for now we only have some leaked images and some code which we can break information down from. Usually in Battlefield games there will be 4 classes, and they're medic, engineer, support, and recon. And in this new game they won't be called the same thing, but they will briefly play the same role. The operator, which is the medic, the mechanic, which is obviously the engineer, the enforcer, which is the support, and finally the recon will most likely be the professional. As for the factions, there are the SWATs and then there are the thieves. And at first, when you look at the SWAT logo, there is an American eagle on it, which most likely leads us to believe that this will be a game based in American cities, which I'm sure a lot of fans of Battlefield have been waiting for maps which takes place at home. And then for the robbers logo, you can see a wolf and it says hunt together. So I'm guessing this organization will be a well-known organization to the SWAT or the police. There is also 2 leaked images. One of them is of a very downtown core of the area with a bridge on the verge of collapsing, police cars on fire, and it just looks like a battlefield, I guess. And then the second images actually shows a helicopter on the top of a building, maybe a bank because it says regional savings. In the background it looks to have just a bunch of small buildings, which leads me to believe maybe this city is some kind of a west coast cities like Los Angeles, but I'm not too sure because I haven't been to those cities and I'm not American. So if you guys do have any other ideas, please let me know. As for the logo, it is called Battlefield Hardline and it is for short BFH, which I don't know, maybe it seems weird to not have a number, but whatever. It is a new Battlefield franchise or Battlefield IP, I guess. So as for the weapons, I'm going to mention their names by their file names because those are the names which are most likely the most accurate. When you first look at this big image of all the weapons, the things which really interests me is the baseball bat, there's a police baton, and there's also a grappling hook. Now, I'm really wondering how this whole grappling hook will play effect into the game. Will you be able to somehow use this grappling hook to hook onto buildings and maybe get yourself a good vantage point? It is just pretty interesting. And also in the internal names of these images, there is something called the zipline gun, and this is on the bottom left. This looks at first to be a crossbow, but maybe the name of the file is wrong and it actually is a crossbow. But if you see a zipline gun, that would be pretty cool to just be like on top of a building and then shoot your zipline gun across to another building and just zipline into a window or something. It is just something that Battlefield have never tested before, and if they actually do turn out to do some kind of ziplining, it would be pretty cool. Now, what also caught my eye is the M16A4. I'm just curious, is this actually the M16A4 or is this the M16A3, which is the fully automatic version? And as some of you guys may know if you played Battlefield 3, that gun was crazy, and I do hope they bring that back because I do like firing guns, which is on the M16 platform, but they're not burst fire. But I still don't want them to make them super overpowered like how it was in Battlefield 3. And then next to the M16A4, there is something called the laser trip mine, which I will probably guess will replace the claymores, because I do believe trip mines are less effective as in killing than claymores, because claymores are more for military use. And lastly, what really caught my eye is the taser. I'm just really wondering, what is the point of having a taser in a game which your objective is just to kill? So maybe there will be some kind of game mode where if you capture your enemy and lock them up as the SWAT guys, you will actually gain extra points. Maybe that's a thing, but I don't know. And if you want to see the full list of internal names of these weapons, I will leave a link down below for you guys to check them out, because I'm not going to be going over every single little detail of this image. Next, moving on, let's just talk about some of the vehicles which are supposed to be in the game. What really caught my eye at first is the two choppers. One of them actually has some kind of camera or maybe spotlight on it, and the other one is just a little bird and it doesn't appear to be armed. But then we see a oil tanker. So I don't know what this will be doing in the game, but it will be pretty cool if you're just driving a giant tanker around full of gasoline, and maybe if you're a robber, you can probably park it somewhere, light it on fire, and probably block off a certain area of the map. It would be pretty cool to see that happen, so hopefully they can do that. And also we can see two bigger choppers, which are most likely transport helicopters. Just all of these vehicles are mostly transport vehicles. I would say they're not really focusing much on the vehicle side of this game, which I completely agree with, because this game is supposed to be some kind of close quarters theme game. Now, while we're still on the topics of vehicles, let's just talk about the vehicle unlocks. At first, on the top left, you can see something called the air cooler. This looks like a CPU fan to me, but the internal name is actually called an air cooler. I don't know what this will have an effect on, but if I have to guess, maybe this will help cool your car or your vehicle down, which maybe helps you drive or makes you boost for a longer period of time. And then on the bottom right hand side, you can see two weapons which looks really futuristic. It almost looks like it comes out from a sci-fi movie. It is green and then there's the red one. It looks like some kind of maybe alien cannon, but I don't know what this thing will do, but I do think it is some kind of grenade launcher which fires maybe more destructive rounds. And lastly, through the list of internal names, there's something called the gunner spotlight, which is this image. So this is most likely going to be mounted onto the helicopter, which has the camera, and maybe your gunner will be able to spot targets as the pilot follows them. There will be probably some kind of game mode regarding escaping the police. And lastly, let's go over some of the things which you unlock in your kit. At first, you can see the ammo box, and you can also see the first aid kit, which is on the bottom right. They look very different from the classic Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 looks, which I'm a big fan of because they have to switch that up eventually. Then there's also some kind of thing called the decoy, which I don't know what this thing will do, but it looks like it has a speaker and maybe it'll distract enemies, but I don't know. And then there's also the riot shield or the ballistic shield, which we are expecting in the Dragon's Teeth DLC. So maybe DICE is just testing that out right now, and then Visceral Games will fully implement that into the core gameplay of Battlefield Hardline. And what really interested me is the gas mask. So I'm just wondering, are they going to add some kind of chemical warfare in this game? Maybe you're able to put tear gas or some kind of toxic gas which kills, and if you're not running the gas mask, you're probably blocked off a certain area. It would be pretty cool to see that in this game. So overall, I am going to expect this game to be a much better game at launch than Battlefield 4, because DICE had all the time to fix their game, and they can give all their knowledge of working with Frostbite 3 to Versatile Games to help make this game a better game at launch than Battlefield 4 ever was. If these images are the final list of vehicles and weapons and they won't be adding any more, I wouldn't be disappointed in any way at all, because I felt like Battlefield 4 was over cluttered with weapons which did the same thing, And I'm just hoping for this game to actually have things which differentiate it from each other and just overall make you feel like you're actually getting new content. So I'm sure during E3 we'll get a bunch of information for this new Battlefield Hardline game, and there will probably be gameplay, maybe a trailer, so we'll have to wait, and make sure you stay tuned to my channel for that because I will be covering all the latest news for this game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below regarding your thoughts on this new Battlefield IP. If you guys are supporting it, or if you guys are thinking that Battlefield is just moving towards the Call of Duty scenery. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.